Hi everybody, welcome back. It's really good to see you again. I just want to start off by apologizing for the lateness of this video. I, in fact, bought new camera equipment this week and I thought that I would use it to film a video, but as with all new equipment, you need to test it out and make sure that things are working smoothly, and I realized that I wasn't really prepared to use it, so I had to abandon that video and start again. So that is why I asked you for questions yesterday for a Christmas Q&A. I feel like it's been quite a long time since I did my last Q&A. We've had a few new subscribers. In fact, this morning when I checked, I realized that we reached 170,000. So thank you to everybody who has subscribed. I really do appreciate seeing new faces and, of course, all the originals. I'm starting to see that Christmas is really in full swing. Everywhere I look on social media, Christmas is in abundance. When I go out into the town in Edinburgh, it is absolutely packed with people, and I know that it can be a little bit stressful. When I was reading through your questions, one of the themes that I saw was recurring was how can we enjoy Christmas without being stressed? So I thought that I would kind of use that as a theme for this Q&A. So without further ado, let's get into the first question. This question is from Jane Smith, and she asks, what are your favorite childhood Christmas/New Year's traditions and foods? Okay, that is a great question, and it seemed to be the most popular question, so I'll answer that one first. Thank you, Jane. So one of the most fun Christmas traditions that I have and memories that I have from my childhood is that every year my family, we actually never spent a Christmas at home. We would always go away on holiday, and we would always go to the seaside. And one of the things that we used to do on Christmas Day was we'd have a huge dinner that was cooked by my mom. Oftentimes she would neglect the sprouts or the potatoes, so they'd end up being burned. There was always something with my mom. She's a wonderful person and she really does try hard to be a good cook, but it's just something that is not in her repertoire. Sorry, Mom. But yeah, so we would always have a big dinner, and despite those little mishaps, it was always beautiful and memorable. But after that huge dinner, what we would do is my dad would insist that we would go for a walk on the beach. Now, after you've eaten a huge meal and you're cozy inside the house, the last thing that you want to do on a winter's day is go and walk on the beach. So we always kind of used to moan about it, but he insisted and we went, and it was always magical. So yeah, one of the best memories I have of Christmas Day is walking on the beach with my family, my brother and sister, and my mum and dad, and just enjoying being silly on the beach, chasing the waves, running through the sand. And it was always a really nice memory. And my dad would always say, who else is going to be on the beach on Christmas Day? So it was a kind of a joke that we would say that every year. So that is probably one of my fondest Christmas memories that I thought that I would share with you now. When it comes to Christmas foods that I tend to like, one of the things that I really do enjoy at the beginning of every festive season are mince pies. I made those a few weeks ago on the channel, and yeah, I do love those because I never have them throughout the rest of the year. I always save them for Christmas. So when I bite into the first one, Christmas is magically here then. It's the start of the season, so that is one of the things I like. I also like to go to the festive market and have a German hot dog. And then I also had a festive mulled wine with amaretto. So I think those things that I only really have at Christmas time are my favorites because they're a special treat and the tastes immediately bring me back to the season. So what about you? What are some of your favorite Christmas memories in terms of food, drinks, and even traditions that you do with your family? I'd love to hear more in the comments. Let me know. So the next question is from Jay Woods, and they ask, how do you encourage a guest to leave once the party is over? Sorry, we've all had a guest that's had too many drinks and doesn't know when it's time to go home. And I thought that was a really great question because it is quite a delicate issue when you have someone at your home and you invite them for a party and they just never go home. We've all been there, and it can be quite tiresome. I went to a Christmas party a few years ago, and as the evening was getting later and later and later, the host just eventually said, "Right, everyone, we've had the most amazing time. Thank you for coming, but it's time for bed." And everybody just laughed. It was so fun. It was real, and everybody knew that it was time to go home. And few people went out further into the night and had fun at a bar or a club, and then everybody else just went home. And I think actually that is probably the best approach, is just to be very honest, make a joke out of it, and people, people don't mind being told when it's time to go home. It's actually better than lingering around. Another thing that you can do is, before you have your party, is just to indicate a start and end time and really emphasize that on your invitation. So you can maybe say, the party will start at 7 and it finishes at midnight because I have to get up early for work the next day. So when you do that, guests will, in their sober state, know that they need to leave at that time and they should leave. But I think if you are stuck with someone who won't leave, maybe the best thing to do is just to enjoy their company, have a drink yourself, and just see how it goes. Okay, the next question is from Afia M. She says, "Hello, Nicholas. How do you host an elegant Christmas party without feeling overwhelmed and stressed?" I thought that I would answer this question because the next YouTube episode, which is going to be on Monday, is how to host an elegant party at home. So I thought that was a great question to answer because I'll be going into that in a lot of depth in the video. It will be entertaining and fun, but also informative for you. You are hosting a festive Christmas drinks party. You are not going to be hosting the royal family or a world leader. This is just a fun time for you and your friends. So why do you need to be stressed? Just do the best that you can. Everybody is happy with a little bit of alcohol and some nibbles. So just do that. Have fun, relax, see it as what it is, which is a fun occasion. I think that is my best tip that I can give, but I will be sharing more details on this in that next episode, so please come back and join me then for that. The next question is from Christine. She asks, "Do you have any good gift ideas for parents and others you love that really don't need or want material things?" Okay, so that is a great question as well. I think this year especially, we're going through some very challenging times. People are really feeling the squeeze on our economy. So it might be that you are panicking about what you can get your friends or loved ones that isn't going to cost the earth, but that will still be a wonderful gift for them. I think one of the most easy, cost-effective gifts that you can give someone is a photograph in a beautiful frame. So you may have had a special time with that person during the last year or so, where you've had a lovely day out together, or maybe you attended an event together like a wedding. And I think what we tend to do now is take pictures on our smartphones, upload them to Facebook or Instagram, but you never really print them out like we used to keep them. And then they get lost in a vortex online and you don't really remember them again. So one of the nicest things that you can do is to actually print out the picture on high quality printed paper and then put it into a beautiful frame. Another great gift that is inexpensive and quite stress-free is something homemade. So I know that the Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, she did an interview where she talked about the first time that she spent Christmas at Sandringham and she was invited by the Queen and she was panicking about what gift to give the Queen. Obviously the Queen has everything that she wants, so what do you buy for this kind of person? And I can imagine that the stress was really overwhelming. And what she did was she just thought, I'm going to go back to basics, make something myself. It is from my heart. It is something that she will never have had before. And that is my advice. Pick something that you can make. It might be some homemade cookies or something like a homemade jam or a chutney. Put it into a beautiful little jar, tie a ribbon around it. If you're going to make cookies, put it in a nice box. Make something from your heart that you have put a lot of effort into, and that gift will be something that is really, really appreciated because it was made with love, and it's something that nobody else can give. Okay, the next question is from James, and he asks, "Do you get lonely at Christmas, or are you surrounded by friends and family?" I thought that was a very unique question that I've never been asked before, so I'd like to answer that now. So, as you probably know from watching this channel, I live here alone. I'm single. I've been single for about 2 years. And actually, I don't get lonely at Christmas time. Now, I'm not saying that I wouldn't like to be in a relationship and have someone to go and do lovely things with. Like when I went to the market last week, I went with a friend, but it would also be very nice to go with a man and it would be romantic. When I was there, I saw um, a lot of couples enjoying the market together, and it looked very romantic. And I did think, oh, it would be nice to do that with a guy. So yeah, I would like to have a boyfriend, especially at Christmas time, because Christmas is all about love, simplicity, being at home, enjoying your home and the warmth that you've created there. And even though I do have a lot of friends, I think that there's only a certain amount of time that you can spend with them before it becomes, you don't spend that much time with your friends, you see them here and there. So it would be nice to have somebody in the house with you a lot, enjoying the festive season. But no, I don't feel lonely at all. I'm someone who embraces my life at whatever phase I'm going through. I've been single for a little while now, and actually I enjoy being single. I would like to meet someone. In fact, that is one of the things that I would like for 2023, and I'm not saying that I don't want to meet someone, but I've learned how to be happy on my own. I think you have to be, otherwise you can just be waiting and waiting for something, and you're not really living. So I always think, live for today, enjoy the moment today, and then if someone comes along in the future, that will be wonderful as well. Okay, the next question is from Reba1030. They ask, are you starting any new holiday traditions this year? If not, I'd love to hear about your favorite yearly tradition. Okay, so something that it isn't from this year, but something that we started a few years ago, about 3 years ago in my family, is that we started to do a Secret Santa. So everybody gets their gifts on Christmas Day as usual, but the Secret Santa would be a gift for Christmas Eve, and you would put everyone's name into a hat, and you draw one out, and that would be your Secret Santa, and you have a budget of £8, which is quite specific. We thought that £5 was a little bit too low, £10 too much, so £8 was the number, and you have to buy something for £8 for that person. And it is quite challenging getting that figure just right and finding something that is relevant to that person, that they would actually like or find amusing. And that is something that we do every year, and it really is a fun thing to do. It's kind of like a game. So it starts by the challenge of going out to find this gift. And the great thing about this is that it doesn't feel like the pressure or stress of finding a proper gift for someone, because it isn't that important. It's just a bit of fun. So you go around and you might spot something in a charity shop or at a market, and you think, that could work for that person. But it always ends up being a real fun thing to do. And then on Christmas Eve, you come together and it is revealed who the other person is who had to get your gift, and it's just so fun laughing and joking about what you've been given. I remember one year my mum was constantly moaning about the heating and the heating bills, and no, we're not having the heating on at this time, we can only have it at this time, go and put a jumper on. And so I think my brother got her a little draft excluder for the door, shaped in the shape of a dog, which we used to have, a West Highland Terrier, and we just thought it was so funny because it was so perfect for that particular year. She was always moaning about the heating, so to get a draft excluder for the door, we all just thought it was just so funny. So that is the kind of thing that we do. And I think that is the joy of Christmas, making it into a less serious occasion. I'm sure you will feel the stress and pressure of this time, and you have to remember that it doesn't have to be that at all. It can be fun. It is supposed to be fun. It is supposed to be with loved ones, stress-free. So maybe a tradition like that would be good for you and your loved ones too. So thank you so much for all of your questions. I got a lot more than I've answered, but this video would go on and on and on. Also, thank you for your patience in waiting for this episode. The next one, which is coming on Monday, should be really beautiful. How to host an elegant cocktail party at home. So I'm going to be running through everything that I've learned about how to do that and how to make it extra special. So I hope you will join me then. I hope you all have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you again on Monday. But until then, take care. Bye bye.